Alessandra. And who's this? Lauren. I don't think I know you.
No, I don't think we've met.
No, we must have been in a different group.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we are all live, and Terry's coming, so we're gonna. So this is cool. I think we have like many different. Somehow everything always works. Let me see. I'm gonna ask everyone to mute yourself, just so I can give a little introduction, and I'm going to check if we. Oh, yeah, I need to do a few things. My first time using this Zoom webinar, so I need to make one little change. They said to go on here, and then and I need to see. So one minute. Okay, so all these new settings, because I need to share this on YouTube. Okay, live on Facebook. Let's see if that's gonna work. And share a video on a page that I manage, Akashic Records Institute. Ta-da! Let's see if that's gonna work. I guess it's going. Connect with Facebook. Hi, Terry. I muted you just for a second. I'm trying to figure out how to connect this so Facebook can see. Come join us. And going live. Oh, this is so fun. Isn't that awesome to like learn something doing it? Okay, so I think we are starting on Facebook. Let's see. Yes, we are live on Facebook. And then I have some amazing guests here to share with you. But before, I wanted to do a little introduction and welcome them. And we are also live on Facebook. Yes. And I think I can, I'm going to close the window. And we also have some amazing participants watching us in this Zoom webinar. So welcome, everyone. And what we're going to do, I wanted to share some graduates from the Akashic Records Institute. And then, we're going to open the questions. So those of you that are here live, you can actually, send us questions. And we'd love to answer them for you. So, all right. So first of all, I am deeply honored to have some amazing guests here. We have Sandra, Lorraine, France, and Terry. They are students that graduated to the Akashic Records Institute in different levels, so different years, right? So we have a big variety here. And so I want to thank each and every single one of you for taking time of your day to be here with me and share about what you learn in the certification program, share about your business. And there I have some amazing questions for you. And also those of you that are live, if you have questions for them or for me, just comment the questions in the chat. And then at the end, we're gonna open the Q&A. So, so the order that I have here, and I don't know if the order that everybody's seeing, I see Sandra first, then Lorraine, then France, and then Terry. So I'm gonna go in the order that I have. And I wanna make this just a very informal chat, and I have my tea. You guys have your tea? Have your tea together. And sharing a little bit about where you were before the program, where you are now, we know that all life happens, and one of the things that we have many different students coming from many different backgrounds. Some of you already had a business. Some of you, created a business from start when you started the program. So, and I wanted to also see how everything is going for you. Some of you I haven't seen in 2 years. We keep connected in Facebook, but not live, right? Because our classes are live mentoring like that in the Zoom. So here's what I was thinking we can do. I wanted to have everyone in the order. I can say your names just to make it clear in the order. So let's start with, your name, like say your name and your business and what is your business. Say your name and your business and why you joined the Akashic Records Certification. Let me know when did you join, like how many years ago you joined and why you joined. So we can go for everyone, and then I will ask the questions for everyone. So the first one is Sandra. So I'm gonna unmute you. Oh, you can unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi. So my name is Sandra França. I started was it 2-3 years ago? Right?
I think you were from Lorraine class, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
2 years, 2, 3. It's so long. Really? Just 2? Wow, it feels so much longer. And I started my business in 2017, connecting with your luminous inner wisdom. So I help people, I coach them, and I help guide them to connecting with their intuition and doing soul journeys using Akashic Records to really pinpoint on why certain things are constantly repeating, because it's a pattern. It's definitely a lifeline, like, your past life, something you're carrying from different generations. So I love to use the Akashic Records as soul journeys to get so deep and know exactly, okay, where did this really begin? Where does it resonate? Where does it, coming from? And where in our, in our bloodline, or is it constantly showing up, and how we can use it in the present, right here where we are and in the future. So I always talk about you, Patricia. I always tell everybody, you gotta take that class. So definitely try and get as many people as possible, because it really is really life-changing, right? Really transformational when you really get to see where you are now and where you are in the past and what you've brought with you in this lifetime, right? And where you're going in the future. And so for me, it's I feel like you're always expanding, right? Always growing. And the more that we journey through our own soul journey and grow and evolve, we continue to use these gifts that we received, right? Going through our records and really just honing in on, oh, this, yes, I need to take care of this. Oh, I didn't realize I brought this because of that. Okay. And to me, it's always like, I don't know, I love them. It's always fun. At least I always think it's fun. Everything spirituality is fun, right?
Yes, thank you. Now, were you working before you did the program, or are you doing something different?
No, well, before I didn't have a coaching business or an Akashic Records. I didn't have anything. Yeah. So I've been on my own journey for almost 3 years, and I just started having a business like maybe a year and a half ago. Nice. And with the Akashic Records, it's very easy to bring it into my business and my coaching, because certain things do need you to really backtrack, right? And see, okay, well, where did we really learn this, right? Because obviously it's here in the present long, and we kind of like activate it here in this lifetime, But where in the past did we really begin, right, to carry it? Where did we make that agreement, or where did we make that attachment? And where in that past can we receive that, right, heal that, and then bring that with us, those gifts and whatever else needs to come and heal, whatever, in this lifetime, so that we can use it in the future, right, present.
Yes.
So that's what I looked at.
Yes, thank you. I will come back to you, but I love that, like Sandra, as you explained, you were like 3 years ago, that's when your journey started, and you did the certification program and you added coaching to it, and now you bring this mix, you know, exactly
Right.
how we talk about, to bring this mix of Akashic Records, your coaching, and, you know, everything that you bring into your clients' lives. So that's
Right.
beautiful.
Which is,
beautiful.
It's always fun.
Yes.
To be able to do that. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So now I'm going to ask you to mute yourself, and I'm going to ask Lorraine to unmute yourself. And then share, Lorraine, with us a little bit about, you know, your name, your business. I know
I'm still here, and the folks encouraged me to go on, so I just talked about you, Patricia. I hope that's okay.
Of course it is. I don't think I don't think you recorded, because Zoom kicked me out, and I think it is stopped everywhere. So let me make sure. Yeah, it kicked me out, and also kicked from the. I'm recording this on YouTube, so should be good to go now. So I will welcome you again. So I'm gonna welcome everyone to Lorraine, and Lorraine is gonna tell me your name and what is the name of your business, and then a little bit of how was life before the, you know, how was your business, how was things when you made a decision to join, and then what came to you from learning the certification program.
Okay, so my name is Lorraine Music. My business is glindasguidance.com. I help people navigate the yellow brick road of life and find the power in their ruby slippers. Prior to joining the Akashics in 2016, I was doing coaching, intuitive coaching, and primarily tarot reading. Mm-hmm. And I was called to the Akashics just to take that practice deeper, because it was great, but it felt very superficial to me. And then a lot of people just kept asking why. Why is this showing up? Why is it a pattern? How can I release it? And tarot really help with that. But the Akashics, as you know, are just, they have so much more depth. And so that's why I called it. So before, but the biggest change I've noticed since taking the course is the shift in the energy of the folks that I work with, how I work with them, who is drawn to me, and the kind of readings I do. I mean, I have far more trust in my intuition, far more confidence in my tarot readings. I've done a lot of Akashic readings that have been life-changing for other people. But when I combined the two, it's just magic. I don't know how else to describe it except to say a lot more trust in source and where things are headed. And then I had questions, you know, being able to access the records is also program development. I've written my book. I don't think my book was written, Trisha, when we were together.
No, that's so cool.
The Slipper Principle is out there. It's not on Amazon yet, but it's out there. It's written and it's formatted and it's good to go, which is great. And I did that with the help of records. And then have developed programs also with the help of the records, just in terms of drawing them around me. So I use them for myself as well as for my clients. And it's been uplifting and connected. And yeah, my life is completely different.
Wow.
Since the time that I started. I mean, and I just feel like I'm living life on a deeper level than I was before, but I don't feel like it's anything I'm forcing or doing or trying to do. It's just experiencing it, because the more we go in and the more we connect, the freer I feel.
Very cool. And you gotta tell me when the book is out so I can share about it. That's so cool.
I will. I'm excited. Yeah.
Lorraine has this amazing, and I always for us fascinating that she worked with the tarot and the Akashic Records with the story of the Wizard of Oz, right?
Yeah.
It's just like so cool. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah,
I'm
we've
very
been
happy
talking
that-
down a lot of flying monkeys, let's just say, and pouring water on witches all over the place. So
I love that. I love that. I love that you use the technique to tuning into the wisdom of your records to help you write the book. And that's awesome.
I
So
do. I
cool.
actually have, well, you know, I have the two records, right? My personal and my business. And my business guides
Yes.
look very different. And they do many times, because that's my theme, they come to me in an environment that feels much like Oz, and they come with those archetypes, which is phenomenal because it's fun to consult them. Even when I get to consult the witch, it's interesting.
Yes. I find that the students will have a deeper connection with a particular theme or an archetype, and that's how your records will show up for you. And a lot of people, before they start working with the records, they don't have that understanding. They think that, oh, the record's going to always be the same thing, and that is always the way, and it's not true, because your intuition starts communicating with you with what is familiar to you, right? Very cool.
It's so true. They meet you where you are.
Yes.
Which is, and it's comforting.
Yeah.
Where they're coming from, and they're very unique and clever, and sometimes funny and heartfelt, and just wonderful. Yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the course. I think it was life changing, really.
Thank you. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna go in order. I'm gonna go to France, and I'm gonna ask France to unmute yourself and share your name, your business, what you were before the program, and then after the program.
Hi, everybody. My name is France Mouton Hetty. That's kind of like the name of my business. I call myself a life improvement consultant, supporting people in wellness of body, mind, and spirit. I took the class. I started with Soul Purpose in January of 17, and then transitioned right into the practitioner's course right afterwards. And I had signed up for the Soul Purpose because I was leaving my career. I had been a teacher, public school teacher, and then for the last year and a half, I was working with adults in an agency as a English as a second language teacher. And transitioning, I was retiring from teaching and going into something, I called it my new adventure, of doing something that would be more, soul, feeding my soul more. And astrology is my first and deepest connection. I studied for 7 years, back starting in 1979, with an awesome teacher. And so when I took the Soul Purpose, I had mentioned to Patricia that, I wasn't feeling confident in how messages were coming to me. But what I did is I started to use astrology. And so I don't know if you know, this is what an astrology looks like. There's 12 charts, 12 houses, but I have astrology cards similar to tarot, but they're astrology themed cards. And so what I will do is once I'm in someone's records, or my own, but when I go into doing Akashic Records, I shuffle these until I'm guided to stop. And whatever card I get, so let's say if I got this one, which says house number 8, then I would look at house number 8 in the person's chart. That would start me in with what I needed to talk about. And it's amazing because how it comes together. As you were mentioning before, the guides give me my information through this method. And so I've blended the two. And I do, I'm an astronumerologist, so I pull in the numbers as well. And so with all that information, it just, the messaging is phenomenal. So where I was in my business, I was just starting, and I did not know exactly how things would go. But when I had seen the course advertised, the Soul Purpose, which was one more
can be.
Yeah.
Here comes Patricia. Yay!
Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening. Let me just make sure that we are still broadcasting on the fan. I was able to go with my phone and say, guys, I lost.
It looks like you're still live on Facebook. The recording
still live.
Okay, now the recording is back on.
Okay. Yeah, it is so weird. So I'm gonna invite Terry to share about you, and I will fix the Zoom here on YouTube.
Yeah, thank you.
Terry.
Yeah, so I am Terry Ann Hyman, and I help people who are moving through transitions, who feel lost and disconnected from who they are. So through my Empowered Spirit program is really where I help people to learn the tools and the techniques and help them to reconnect, to build a spiritual practice, to find the confidence, and actually to explore that human connection to our soul. I think it's very important, no matter what we do. So as I was saying, Patricia, you got kicked off, that I so agreed with the comments going on, that one of the greatest things working in the Akashic Records, even just for me, is that my intuition has just grown. The confidence that I have with what I see is just phenomenal. And like I was saying, if I ever doubted it before, there's no doubt now, because I just see so much. It has opened up for me, and I just have that confidence. No matter what comes in, I just trust what comes in. This is what it is, and we go from there. So I really love that about the program. It really helped me to hone in on that. So I thought that was one of the greatest things, just for my own benefit as well. And now I had to kind of figure out how to add this in, because I already had my Empowered Spirit program working and it was doing really well. And I didn't want to just like kind of sell another technique. Like I didn't want to go, oh, just have a reading here. So I really tried to work on how to bring it in. So now I have incorporated that as part of my creating new soul contracts. So I already had that part in, but now I add the Akashic Record into the part of the program, and then through the Ho'oponopono, and then I also work with emotional freedom technique. Then once we start to see what those limiting beliefs are and where that original connection is and what's getting in our way, then I help reinforce that. I think it's really important to, when we open up the records and when we share, especially if we go into past life, that we need to give people tools. Like we can't just show them all this information and then send them on their way, because to me, I just feel like then sometimes that can flip people out. Like, oh my God, this is what I did. But when we continue to work with them and have those follow-up sessions with them, then we can help them to really bring forward those new parts of who they are. And as I call them, new contracts. So that's one of the ways that I've incorporated into my Empowered Spirit program. And then because I was getting so many amazing comments and results, I've actually now created a 21-day package. So it's an empowered soul package where we start with the Akashic Record. And again, like I think it was Sandra that was saying, I like to read the imprints, the patterns. Where are those patterns coming from? And I like to go back to that original root place too. So that's kind of where I start. And then I use 2 more sessions, so a total of 3, to reinforce the work that we've done. Definitely. And I don't always have to go back into the Akashic Record beyond that initial. Sometimes I do, but lots of times it's really just reinforcing it, because we uncover so much information. Definitely.
Yes, I love that. Thank you. And one of the reason that we have the Akashic Records as this intense 6 months program is to help the students to create what every single one of you created, is your own connection to the records and how to bring, what is unique about you, right? So you bring the things that you bring who you are, and that naturally attracts, your clients. There are either at some point where you were or, exactly where you are. But there is this embracing that happens that happened for every single one of you, where you're not, like Terry just shared, you're not just selling a tool of Akashic Records. You are being your own brand, and you are, as you go through your own discoveries in your Akashic Records, and you exchange sessions with the other students, and every time you are uncovering layers of what it is that you're really here to bring to others, and what it is unique about you that will come through by working with you and the Akashic Records, and and everything else that you bring into the table, right? So I am just so honored to hear the shares from you. And I have a few more questions for you guys, and I will do this again if it's okay. We go through everyone, and if I do kick out, it looks like that you guys can keep going. Just go. If I do get kicked out, I don't know what's happening here. I guess you guys don't need me anymore. I did my job right. But one of the things that I would love to ask you is if you want to expand a little more into the Akashic Records Certification program. That are my intention when I created the program was to bring it to the market, powerful Akashic Records consultants that would, awaken in them what is unique about them, which every single one of you did. And also, that would add to your business, right? And one of my intentions for everyone that participates is that you, as a practitioner in training, you start charging for your services, because I see that as, when you learn a new skill, it's natural to be a little insecure or not knowing. So my intention is that you recuperate the investment as soon as you can. And of course, life happens too. There is other things happening, but would be interesting to ask for the four of you, how was that for you? And how did you, maybe you can share if you want, one of the packages that you offer, and how you were able to recuperate your investment and beyond, right? And how is that looking like in your life today, right? I think that would be a good question. So I will let you guys expand into, however applies for you. So I'll start again with Lorraine. I can't hear you. You're muted. There you go.
Because I didn't unmute. I'm like, oh no, you're starting with me. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to be really honest about this because, Patricia, I already shared this with you, but in terms of recouping the investment, first, I do want to preface it by saying that wasn't the most important thing to me about taking Akashic Records. And what I gained was invaluable, so much more than that. But it did take me a long time to recoup the actual costs using actual Akashic Records because of exactly what you said, which is I felt very, I didn't feel very confident in reading the records, especially because I'm claircognizant, and so I just felt like I was making stuff up. So I didn't even charge as much as I was charging for my tarot readings. I was living in an area that's the tourist area. So there were a lot of people that were, coming in, and they would come to a metaphysical shop and they're used to spending $5 or $10 or $20 because they're on vacation, and it's a very fun, entertaining type of atmosphere. So that turned out to not be the best way to connect with the Akashics. They're far deeper than that.
Yes.
So in the beginning, I only charged $75 for my readings, and that takes a long time to recoup the investment at $75, and it takes a lot of people, and it takes a lot of energy. And honestly, I stopped doing just Akashic Records and then started combining with the tarot and doing it more in just intuitive coaching sessions. I actually call it therapy, like therapy. I'm a therapist. Once we started doing that, then I had clients that actually would come and they would spend 2 and 3 and 4 hours with me. We'd do like half days and then expand beyond there. And in that way, it did recoup itself, but not in the beginning. Yes.
Yeah. But as you combined the Akashic Records with your brilliance, then you were able to recoup the investment. And that's my intention too. And that's because why we go into the Akashic Records business and we ask your business guides how you can combine this. Because if you try to focus on, and that's a great conversation, because if you try to just focus on giving Akashic Records sessions, you end up being on the level of the people that are just doing Akashic Records session. And that is not bringing who you are. Right. So I see this as very successful because now you have those, I don't know if you call like VIP days where they come and they have the Akashic Records, but they also have what else you bring into the table, which is your other skills, the tarot and the intuitive readings and the Akashic Records. So the only person that I know so far that does, intuitive readings, tarot and Akashic Records is Lorraine. So that makes you unique in your field. So that's awesome. That's perfect. Thank you. And now I'm going to move on to Sandra and come back to Lorraine later. There you are.
Hi. So, but when I first started, Okay, so when I was doing the Akashic Records, like everyone else, you always feel, okay, something's got to be off. But because I was also doing the coaching, after a while of being in the record, you just love to be in that room because whatever comes through is exactly what always needs to come through. So when we were doing the student readings, I would charge $25 right for the first. I was like, okay, because I asked my business guys, how do you want this to go down? You need to like give me exactly all the details, how many people, how much, and so on. And it was so funny because they literally were like, you're gonna take 5 people at 25, you're gonna take 3 people at 5, and then you're gonna go from there and go to 175, and then you're gonna go, like they just give you specifics, right? So I'm like, okay, this is too much. Like it was freaking me out. But the more I was doing them, it was really easy and going with flow. So now it's like just packages, right? I'll do like random Akashic readings, or I'll do an Akashic prosperity journey, or I'll do a soul journey, right? And that can be up to like $1,100 for a soul journey, and it's like a 3 or 4 session with a few weeks in between. But to see where they are in the beginning and to see them at the end is so transformational. And adding, like everyone else is adding extra, other little things that is unique to themselves, then that is the gift, right? When you always show up as yourself, right? Your true authentic self, and bringing your other gifts into your reading. That's beautiful because I'm all about rituals. And so the fact that sometimes they say, well, this is what you're going to do. And it's like, oh, more rituals. So that makes me happy because that's what I'm all about. And so it really, really made a difference. And I have to say that I was able to make up that money like less than a year.
Nice.
Because in the beginning it was like, okay, I don't know how, because I didn't know how to start it. But once I got on the ball, it was like, oh, this is not so bad. Yeah, this is what it is. This is what it is. And you will always get what you need, right? Your guides, God, source, universe, whatever, will always send you the people that you need, that need you. And so it does become that. So you will find your soul tribe. And so it becomes easier to go ahead and say, share your gifts. And I tell everybody about you, so it's pretty okay. Sign up. You just got to, because it just really helps you get grounded into your truth, right? And everything that you already know that lives in you is just coming out in these records, and so it just becomes natural.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. So your package is $1,100, right?
Right. It's a 3 or 4. Yeah, $1,100 for a 3 or 4 soul journey.
11. Nice. And then, so if I would invite you today, you'd be like, no problem. I just have to sell 2 packages and I can enjoy enroll the program. Would you say that? No problem. I can just do 2
I was
packages.
Like, no problem, because
a year ago.
Yeah, a year ago.
Like,
no. It would have been like, what are you talking about? I can't do that. And now it's like, you're so grounded in who you are and what you can provide and your gifts that it's just like, sure, we got it, because it's your record. You can't go wrong in your records. And then with your intuition and everything else that shows up, it just becomes your flow, right? You just do it. You should show up.
Yes, that's a great point. Like who we were a year ago, right? And what we see, it's possible today. It's just like it's normal to not see through and be like, oh my gosh. But as you continue moving in your path, as every single one of you did, the things start showing up. And then the things that were hard before is like, oh, that's easy now. Like you just have to just have 2 people and I will recuperate my investment. Yeah.
Right. And your intuition becomes so much stronger and amplified in so many different ways that, I constantly have conversations with my guides all the time. And sometimes, just like Lauren said, they have jokes and they're funny and they have all these things. And you have to trust and surrender that you actually are receiving what you need to receive. And so that's the gift, right? Knowing and trusting and receiving and surrendering, right? And you learn all of that. It's like your Akashic Records help amplify that and get you grounded. So
yes, I find it is. It's a process that every week you start unpeeling that process, and right. the process and unpeeling and working with your own your own pace. Everybody's different.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Everybody has to go on their own pace, and everyone needs to understand that we're not all the same. Just because Joe Schmo is going at 1,000 miles per hour and you're doing 10 doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's where you need to be. You are always exactly where you need to be. Always, always. And you will never be like anybody else because you're unique in yourself, and all your gifts are unique to yourself. So just embrace yourself and everything that shows up for you,
Yes.
So
beautiful.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna ask France to share about that. How did that work for you? Because this is awesome to see different backgrounds and different, energies, and then seeing what show up, which I don't know.
Well, when in the course, when we started, we had to do, I forget how many we needed to do for no cost first with our client, with people outside the class. And I did that number. And then I asked my guides, and my confidence level was not the greatest. So they told me to start charging $20.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to do 5 of those. So I did. Mm-hmm. And then, it was going up and up. And so by the end of the course, I was, you had suggested at some point that we should be like at the $125 price range, which is what I went to once I was certified.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I've been told, no, you're not, that's not enough. So now I do $222
mm-hmm.
is what I charge. As I said before, I don't have, that's not been, I've done packages of bundles of 3. And so when I was at 125, that was $333. Now that I'm at 222, that's $645 for a bundle. But what I've done is I've gone to my astrology numerology a little bit more. So I created a monthly membership where people for $10 a month, they can be in my membership. And I give a lot of information on what's going on. On Sundays, I will do the week ahead with numerology, astrology things for the upcoming week, and before the full moon and the new moon and going into a new sign, I do Facebook Lives in that group, giving lots of information, because most people know, okay, full moon, we release, new moon, we start something, but it's so important to know what are the energies, what signs are we in, what numbers are they at, what other aspects are going on to really inform. So I've gone in that route, and I enjoy doing that. So
I love that.
So yeah, I have a variety of offerings, I guess.
And I love that you started doing Facebook Lives in the group. That's inspired for you too. In the beginning, I remember you were like, oh, and now you're like, I'm seeing Francis all the time on Facebook Live, and I'm like, yes.
The time, yeah. I do 8 of them every week for sure.
That's awesome.
And then I do those extra ones in my membership group.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm on a lot.
Very, very cool. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Terry, I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself and share.
Yeah. So I took advantage of your payment plan and was able to just incorporate that right in. And because I have a business, it was a business expense, right? It was an investment. So I think that that's really important to understand too, because it was putting it right back into an expense that then I could deduct at the bottom line. So for me, it was covered throughout the course because I was just getting in new clients. I was adding it into my work, that kind of thing. So for me, I felt like it was just definitely another, aspect of my business that I needed help with. I didn't really struggle so much with it. And I think even today on an ongoing basis, it's just all those things that we put together. And one of the things that I really liked, and I actually do use for my clients, was the way you did that rule of 3. Like first you start, okay, maybe 3, you offer 3 sessions free, for like a testimonial, and then 3 sessions at a price that you feel okay at, and then 3 sessions at a more relevant price, and then even the packages. So it felt like it helped me to, build that. And I find that I use that with my students that are going through my leadership program, the same way for them to start being able to get paid for what they do, because I think it's really important. And Now, because I don't really do individual readings, it is again incorporated into my 90-day package. And my 90-day package, because it's 3 months, is a substantial amount. You know, it's close to $2,500. So it adds right into that. But there's a lot that they get in that they're doing and that I'm teaching them and working with. But I really think that if you're, you know, people are considering the course, to remember that it is an investment. This is not an expense. This is an investment in the work that you do. And like we all said, it enhanced our intuition, enhanced our skills. It gave us the ability to go deeper in our work, and it is life-changing. So I think that is a really important part of when you go to think about, can I afford it? Can I do this now? And we all go through changes with our work, so it just is going to help it be better and understand it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that is true. And it's like, I see as you too, like every time I'm taking a program and taking something, it's an investment, and every single piece adds up to what you are going to bring to others, right? You need to invest in yourself in order to others invest in yourself too. And that's exactly why, you know, the 4 of you and so many others of the students, they invested in themselves, and then they feel more confident to, you know, charge for their services, and others will invest in them through them. So it's almost like that it goes around, right? But you have to take the first step. So the one question, maybe we can just do like you know, just going around, and what is the, you know, it could be business. Besides your business, is what other area in your life, if any, changed by being on the program? So I'm just curious if you guys want to go around. And
I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
When I started to do the practitioner course, and we were exchanging with other students, it was amazing. It was very amazing because, first of all, working for somebody else, doing the reading for somebody else, gets you your confidence in what you're doing. But receiving a reading from somebody else in the class, and I'm sure there's the same happening in the people who are attracted to it now. There were people in there that were amazing. You know, they could just bring in such information. And like Terry was in my class. I had an amazing session with her that really helped me to, you know, unravel and understand situations in my life. It was life-changing for me. So it's not just in developing that ability. And so I loved the way that was set up, where we would book something and we'd do a reading for each other. It was time-consuming. We had to fit in the class hours and then a chunk of time so that 2 of us could read, but so worth it. So worth it in what we were giving and then getting feedback on, and also in what we were receiving from the other people. So
yes, thank you. And I really see it, you know, to add on that, I really see the students that are being called to participate. They also have a divine, you know, appointment with some other students. So I see beautiful, you know, friendships and relationships, you know, coming up from connecting to the other students that you connect in the class. Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Who else want to share? If you want to add on, Lorraine, you just said.
Yeah, so I would agree that meeting with some of the other students and doing records readings, it connected us at a soul level, and there's several of them that I still speak to quite frequently, and it was wonderful to have somebody else to go through the program with and to do that together. But outside of that, I mean, my life is completely different, and I will say that I think as we evolve and we go through every revolution of our evolution, sometimes we have, well, of course, I call it the tornado, right? It takes Dorothy off to Oz. So once we say, I'm sick of Kansas, I can't do this anymore, I'm called to do something else, and we take the Akashic Records, and it feels a little chaotic. So I have to be honest, my life turned upside down, was chaotic. I had all kinds of things flying about, you know, losing some friends, which I thought was a bad thing, turns out to be a wonderful thing, right? So the universe helped to kind of release a lot of toxins from my system so that I could get to the next level of my being. So even though it felt a little uncomfortable at first, I'm not going to lie, it did. I'm so grateful for it now, because I think it just kind of helped propel us to the other side, and it certainly did for me. Changed my home, moved to a whole other state, have my own home. I went through some health issues, but yeah, so that I could end up on this side more compassionate, I can already feel the difference in the way that I deal with the clients and the clients that are drawn to me. So those sorts of things, it's almost like it's magical. I didn't do anything to have that happen, but I know it's because of the change having been there, because we're called to do higher work. And when you are, then you got to get out of Kansas and get into Oz. So that's my example.
Beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, that's a very good point. Sometimes, it's not like you're going to join, all flowers will happen, but, understand that it's up and down, but you have the support, during the program. And that is the most powerful you can have, as you have, my support and the other student supports. And I seen it a lot. They shouldn't be like, oh my gosh, this happened. Who can give me a session now? And then I shouldn't, say, I do. And that's very cool too. Thank you.
You're right, though. Having the other students, Patricia, is like, oh my gosh, this is what's going on for me. And then somebody else that says, something big is going on in my life too, and we can look at it differently and go into the records. I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. That part is phenomenal, to have the breakthroughs that many of us have had, for being willing to go through that experience and to do it together. And there's a feeling of trust. It says, if we just let the tornado take us up, trust me, you get the ruby slippers. It's so worth it. Just let the debris fall away, and people will be there to help you and support you.
Nice. Yeah. I love that. Beautiful. Thank you.
So for me, since it was the first time for me to be in any type of a group, the Akashic Records was, what I loved about it is the fact that you have that accountability partner, right? The one that will always be there to say, oh, did you get your sessions in? How many do you still need? Let's go back into the group and find another partner. And some of those people end up being, like Lorraine said, you hold on to them, or you know them for long periods of time. I had a chance to meet France in person, so that was fun, right? And so while doing the Akashic Records, right, and starting my own business, I was actually able to leave, just like France, leave my toxic job, right, and do my own, now have my own coaching business. Or I left my job December of last year, so 7 months now I've been on my own business, and it's been weird because I've never had my own business before, but it's fun, right? Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, glitter bombs and magic, and then it's like, oh, it's the storms and the rain, I can't see, and then Lorraine said, somebody give me a reading, and you start checking in and give yourself a reading, and your support team, oh, it's just a phase, okay, no problem. But what you learn from the program is that you're never alone, right? You're never alone. This is my daughter. Thank you. And so it's always fun, right? To be able to know that you can check in and have someone to give you that support. And so you're not traveling the journey by yourself. You're never really on the journey by yourself. It always feels like you're on this journey by yourself, but you're really supported, because the people who do join the program with you do become like your soul sisters or your soul family. And so you're able to always check in. And Patricia, you're great in always coming back to answer any questions and jump on, let's talk about it, what's going on. And so that really makes a difference, right? So I've never been in a program, but to be able to do a group program like that is something that I really love. To know that I'm not by myself, right? Yes. I'm not the only one treading this thing and having these happy moments and sad moments. I got some other people who are joining with me, and we're joining this road together, right? And so that's always, for me, that's the most important part of the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one of the things I loved was just reading, because everybody was all over the world. And so it was just so many different things. And to see that, you know, like people are doing this work no matter where they live. And I thought that was really great. I'm in like a very southern small, well, Birmingham, Alabama. So, right. So it's like, okay, I'm doing this here, and somebody's doing Sweden and France and all over. And that was really fun. And also what it taught me too was that it was really, really important to ground myself at the end in present day, because it really matters. Because sometimes you think, oh yeah, grounding, so what? But it really matters, because I kept losing track of time zones. I would mess up my appointments. I'd be on the wrong time zone. And finally I had to say, okay, when I finish a session, I have to bring myself right back to where I am. I have to state the date and the time, and that would help me ground. So that was just something else that reinforced how important it is to use the tools that we have, and that we can get like spaced out and all over the world, but we bring our energy back. So I really love that. And I really love the practice of it as well. And also too, I did want to jump on and just also say that, Patricia, you're just amazing in how much you give. I went through a little bit of an issue. I had another round of like skin cancer come back this year. And instead of just going to surgery, I had to like stop and like really look at it. And then everything just kind of stopped for me. And you had jumped on and was doing that flow program, right? And it was just like an extra part of who you were, giving out to all of us. And for me, jumping back in and going through those empowerments, or I forget what you call them, empowerments, attunements,
Akashic clearings and Akashic
clearings,
downloads.
yeah.
Yes.
Like I was joining in 3 times a day, just getting back into that energy and getting back to kind of like even the root of what was going on with me helped me tremendously. Just listening to the meditations and getting in them. And so your ability to give to your students is really great. And I think people need to hear that as well, because it's a lot. You give a lot of time and you really put the effort into it. And sometimes I go, oh my God, this is 2 hours. But then later it's like, oh my God, this was great for 2 hours, right? That kind of thing, because we were learning and practicing. And then the mentoring too, like, okay, let's walk you through. How do you do it, right? And I felt pretty comfortable. I've been doing readings for a while. I use the tarot and the oracles as well. But it was really great for those that hadn't done the readings, and you would like step by step guide them through. And then for all of us watching, it just helped us to make our readings better. So I think all of that was just really good on the personal level, of course, of me being out there and doing the work I do. But sometimes too, you know, we have stuff too. Just because we're spiritual beings doesn't mean that we're not going to have our own stuff. So having the tools to jump back in and align with the group and just be in that energy is really, really important. And then we can heal and move forward with what we need to do. So I think all of it was really great, but I loved connecting with everybody and having the assignments to read everybody. It was great practice and safe. I mean, like, where else can you do that, right? Like, okay, well, how did it go? What'd you think? You can't really do that in a professional sense, because you're supposed to be the one that knows. So when we practice with each other, I think that was really great, and that helps to build the confidence as well. So I think the program was really great. I mean, you taught us how, you gave us the mentoring, and then you actually gave us the business acumen on how to get out there and sell it. And I think that's important too. You need all aspects of that.
Yes, yes,
Definitely.
thank you. Yeah, and that is my, you know, I'm always had this marketing mindset, natural for me.
Yeah.
When I was a child, I used to do pottery, so I would sell my potteries at 6 years old, just like natural. And that is one of the things that I feel like I bring for the students, is that, you know, you must be sharing your gifts with others, otherwise they're gonna not know you have gifts to share. And you, every single one of you, you know, everyone is so unique in its own way. I cannot help everyone, right? You cannot help everyone, but you can help the people that are here to receive your gift for them. So, and that is my whole intention. You know, inviting, you know, my intention for my students is to go out there and share your gifts. And by doing so, the right people show up, and then you impact their lives. And then they shift their lives of the people in their family, right? So it becomes this beautiful, you know, ripple effect in every single thing that you do.
Yeah,
right?
It does. And actually, now that I think about it, actually, now because I have my money council, right? I go in, I have my table and all my advisors, right? I actually did create a new program last year and I launched my leadership development. And instead of just doing half the program, it became a whole year. And the last part of the year now, we are actually learning the business skills, because that was so important. Yeah. So it actually did open that up. And then now I can connect, like, okay, my advisors, what do we need? What are we doing? So I think that that was definitely something that I just realized that that actually came about because of it too. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. So let me, I know we are on top of the hour. I want to, honor if any of you have any appointments, don't feel shy, But I do want to go to the questions that are here in the panel and on the Facebook. And, maybe they have some questions for you guys. Maybe it's for me. I don't know. But before I go into that, is there any final thoughts, if any of you have, and if you want to add any final thoughts for someone that is thinking about to join the program, or, anything you want to add at all, we can go through everyone and then I can start looking into the questions. But it's up to, I want to respect your time.
Yeah, I think that I'll just finally say, because I have a top of the hour appointment, but don't let money get in your way, because money is just an excuse. Like, go underneath and look at it. Talk to Patricia about what it is, because there's so many ways to move that out. Know that you can turn that around, and it is an investment. But it's so easy to say, oh, I don't have the money this year. When I get the money, I'll do it. But don't let money be your excuse. That's just where we all want to go to, because that's easy. Really. So it is an investment. It will come back to you, and you will grow more than you realize. So yes, thank you. Thank you, ladies, too. We all share very interesting, similar learning.
Thank you so much, Terry. Yeah, it's so true, because if you let the money stop you right now, you're gonna continue let the money stop, and then next year when you open the doors for the program again, you'll be in the same place instead of be where everyone, how much every single one of you went forward in a year time. Like, you never know where you are now if you don't, give yourself that chance and trust, and just, of course, keep moving forward to take action. Right? Thank you. Any of you have any final thoughts, or I'll just let you guys unmute yourself.
Yeah, I was just going to really mirror what Terry said, and that is, if you're feeling called to it, I feel like there's a reason you're feeling called to it. And so it's important to take the steps to just make it happen. Like you guys said, the money is just an excuse. It's so worth it. And I think when you're called to it, we have to take action quickly, and Source will respond and find a way to meet you where you are and provide for you. And I'm not talking about the woo-woo, oh, I'll just sit there and the money will come to me. That's not what I'm saying. No, not saying that at all. But I'm saying if you're called to it, it's because you're supposed to take the action steps to go and do it. This is Source meeting you where you are to give you that opportunity. So take it. It's absolutely life-altering in the best way.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, jumping off on what Lorraine was saying. Totally. Your guides and your angels and God, source, dust, whatever, they always guide you to what you need to do. And if your soul is bringing you here to this program, there's always a reason why you're being guided to something, because it's already a part of you. And it's just, take the leap, jump. Trust me, if money is your issue, I had wanted to do the program, and I had literally asked my guides, right, my spiritual team, if you want me to take this program, Patricia's going to have a monthly payment that's going to work with my business, right, like with my life right now. And sure enough, I got on a call with Patricia, and she's like, payment. I was like, it was exactly the right number that I had specifically asked for, the right amount of time. And I was just like, okay, I can't say no, because obviously I need to take this program. And I'm so grateful to have taken this program, because it has helped me grow so much more and continue, right, to evolve, because we all continue to grow. So if you're being guided to take the program, oh my gosh, just take the leap. The wings will come, the money will come. You are always, always supported and provided for. Trust me, that money will show up. It will show up, because if they're asking you to do this, it's for a purpose. And I'm telling you, you're going to have so much fun. You're going to learn so much, and you're going to grow in so many different ways, right? Your mindset, your spirituality, your gifts, your confidence, you're going to trust more, and things will just fall in alignment, right? Things will just start to show life, and it's exactly what is meant for you. So I said, take the leap. Trust people. Trust me. This is the best. I love Akashic Records. For me, it's always fun, but just trust.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you. It's a good point. If any of you that are listening to this video, if you need, like we had a conversation, I just remember that, like Sandra, we had a conversation, and at the moment, she asked, can you do like a longer payment? And that could happen on a one-to-one agreement basis. It is a 6-month program. I could do a longer, extended payment, as long as it's someone that would commit to the commitment, right? Because it's, it is important to not let that, be like, oh, this month, something happened, and because it would be a commitment. So if someone that is watching this video would like, maybe a 12-month payment, we can work that out as long as you commit that you're going to honor the payments, because it is a 6-month program, right? So, so I'm very big on this, my word. So I would be happy to do that if for those who would commit to your word, like, the 3 of you did. That's a good point. Thank you. I think we're actually going to do, we're going to make a little special, maybe in the next 48 hours or something on that point, because I know that may support some people that may be interested in participate. So I'll be more than happy to honor that, as an honor basis, of course. So I think, Francis, do you have anything else to add it? And I'm going to look in the questions here.
No, the only thing that I could add is that my issue was the lack of confidence in my skills and my clair. And like Laureen said, I was like more claircognizant, and it just like, I would doubt. I would say, is this me? Am I just making this up? Because I don't have, still to this day, I'm not, I don't have any clairvoyance or clairaudience. Mm-hmm. So I'm clairsentient, claircognizant. And, but going through the process, I found my way of doing things that I can be very comfortable and secure because of the feedback that I've received over the time. So if there's somebody else out there who's got that same, hesitation, don't. It will work itself out.
Yes, thank you. That's a good point. One of the things that we develop in the program is understanding your clair, if you're clairaudient, clairsentient, and then work with the clair and know that when the time is right, if it needs to come, the other clairs will come. Most people don't need all the clairs to do Akashic readings. You can work with your clair, and then just some of them, like Francis just shared, you need to build up the confidence, and that is built right into the program too. I do have one question from Vina. If you guys, so can you please check out how does? Oh, so Vina is asking how does it? I think we kind of answered that. But simple, what I heard and what I see in the students, it can help you wherever you are. I had lawyers in the program; they were not interested in practitioners. She is Brazil. Most of the lawyers that take this program in Brazil, I don't know why. Brazil, I have usually is 30% of the students, they are actually lawyers that are actually, that's their profession, and they're not interested in become a practitioner, but they do the program, and that helps them in the business, in the area. So it's interesting. So I've seen people that change their marriage by going through this program. You see the beautiful results in our students that came here today, in Laureen, Sandra, in France, and Terry. But it can help Vina in many different areas. And if you're interested in business building, it will definitely really support you there too. Pushita, hi. So she told me I was frozen. Very cool. Oh, beautiful. I have my Norma, my sister. Pushita is asking, can you give yourself a reading? Yes, it's built into the program too. And one of the things that you know, my whole point in the training program is to, we are not, you know, people that give readings without look at your stuff first. We got to look at our stuff, and that's why we have the sessions built into the program where you learn, you know, other students read your records and you read your own records, and you know, and through that guidance to read your own records, you know, as everyone here shared today, you know, Lorraine wrote a book through working with her records, and France, you know, combined the Akashic Records, and Sandra, her coaching program. So it's together. You don't want to just be a person that read other people's records. You want it to be very, very aligned with your own Akashic Records, because that is most important. Because the integrity of being doing something for others that you know through yourself, you know, how it works for yourself too. So in my experience, and if you guys want to share this, Pushita asked, have you found clients start to depend too much on Akashic readings? In my case, like when I work mentoring with, you know, my private students, my private clients, we do a combination of coaching and Akashic Records. And some of them have their own business. Some of them are also Akashic Records from my program. So I don't find it that you know, that they get dependent on me, as my whole focus is teach them how to be confident on themselves. And Sherry, it will be a pleasure and an honor to have you join us. And Kim shared, the last shared from here, Kim shared that she feels people's and moods, and it's hard all the time, because, so that means, Kim, that you probably are clarisentia, you can feel other people's energy. And that is something that we'll build right into the program, and you guys may have your own spin to it, but you learn how to protect yourself, and you learn, most importantly, how to separate your own feelings from your clients. Because in the beginning, when you start any intuitive work, you may start having feelings of, you know, not feeling good enough, and even though some of them, you know, could be at some level yours, you probably most tuning into the client, right? So and this is something that I teach you guys, how to protect your space from other people's stuff. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. I went through all the questions, and I want to honor your time. We are here for 1 hour, 11 minutes. Perfect. And one-on-one. So thank you so much for taking the time of your day to share about your experience in the program. Thank you, everyone that is here. Hi, Heather. Thank you, everyone that is here in the panel. Thank you, everyone that is watching the replay. We are a little bit about the program. I'm not going to talk much about the program. You probably, if you're getting our emails, you know about it. If you're not, we're going to post right underneath this video, wherever you're watching this video, we're going to post a link for you to join us. And this is the last time to join us in 2018, so do not miss the boat, because last time it's a year from today, and there are a few things coming up this year. We're gonna start the Akashic Records practitioner program now, middle of July. And then in a few months from now, the students that went through the Akashic Records practitioner program are going to be able to go apply for the next program, which is how to deliver powerful Akashic clearance for groups of people. I know I have a lot of you that is like, Patricia, when that's going to start. So I am committing that is going to start October or so this year. So this is the time you can do the practitioner now, starting, you know, charging for a service, a practitioner in training, and then 4 months from now, you can join us in the next level program. And the teacher training will come next year. So, and teacher training, you cannot participate if you not took these 2 other programs. So this is really for some of you that are interested in go all the way with the Akashic Records Institute. The time is now. Don't let you know, money stay in the way, because if you let it do it now, it's going to always stop you. And I'm here to support you for the next 6 months to change your life. And I will sign off that way. Thank you so much, guys. I love you so much. And I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.